What's up? Today I'm teaching you about the good old A minor blues scale. I've been coming across a concept in private lessons. By the way, if you would like a guitar lesson with me, my email is going to be in the description, so just hit me up and we'll work something out. Anyway, so I've been noticing this thing in lessons. I learn a lot during lessons, believe it or not. And I think I've discovered kind of a law of music. It goes like this. Your capacity to understand music theory is relative to the music you know that applies it. So without an application, music theory tends to be forgotten. So I wanted to kind of start teaching more lessons based off of this law, and I figured the best place to start would be the blues scale. The most common scale in soloing, an early scale that people learn in lessons, and also a scale that people continue to use at all levels of playing. So the applications are many. But today what we're going to do is, I'm not actually going to, I'll run through the scale really quick. But today what we're going to do is we're going to take Led Zeppelin's Heartbreaker, the main riff from that song, and just play it in as many places as we can on the guitar. So we get a really good feel for where that scale happens on the neck. So let's start with the scale and then we'll go to the riff. So 5 to 8 fret range throughout the neck. We're going to go 5-8 on low E, 5-6-7 on A, 5-7 on D, 5-7-8 on the G. Make sure and use your pinky there. 5-8, and then 5-8. If this is your first time learning that scale, pause the video, go through it a couple times, make sure you have it memorized. What I recommend is going up the scale as in ascending in pitch, and also down the scale. And do that without stopping or without playing any note twice in a row. So for example, this is the first time you played this scale, play like this. And try and do it to a metronome. Do it at your own pace. So the pace that a guitar teacher typically shows their student something is usually not the pace that the student can play it first try. So play it slowly. The important thing is to get the notes to sound good. So focus on tone and then focus on tempo. And make sure your tempo is even, that you can play it, with a consistent rhythm. Okay, enough of that though. We're here to learn Heartbreaker in as many places as we can find. So the first place that we learn this riff is obviously the way it's normally played. Which is awesome. It's in the open position. I kind of play this with a power chord. So open A, 2 on D, 2 on G. And then 3 on the A string with my middle finger. Put a little mojo on there. Bend that 3 note a little bit. Anyway, so after that we play the D string, open 1, 2. And then I reach over with my ring on 3 of the low E. That's how I do that. So, but that's not really what I wanted to show you. I'm going to play this in all sorts of positions that it's not normally played in. The most obvious one that I want to start with is the 5th fret, starting on the 5th fret of the low E, just like we do with the A minor blues scale. So the cool thing about this riff and what the inspiration for this lesson was the fact that it goes right up the scale for the low E in the A strings. So it's literally 5-8 on low E and then 5-6-7 on the A. Before it goes to 3 on low E. So that's just killer, you know. You can't have a better like music theory to music application. Better than that. Okay, so that's one place, but remember, we're trying to do it in as many places as possible. This is sort of the name of the game as far as getting to know the fretboard. Highly recommend you do this no matter what level of ability you're at. Okay, so let's do it an octave up. Best way to, kind of find these different opportunities to play these licks is just to start with octaves. So we'll start on 7 of the D string. So we're going 7 on D, 5 on G, and then pay close attention here. I'm moving positions. So I'm going 7, 8, 9, index, middle, ring on the G string. So 7 on D, 5 on G, 7, 8, 9, and then 5 on G. 5 on D as in dog. All right, let's go to the next octave. So we're on 10 of the B string now, and this fingering is going to be exactly as this. It's going to be exactly the same fingering as the phrase, the voicing. Yeah, the voicing of that riff that we just did. So we're going to start with our ring, 10 on B, go to 8 on high E, shift positions up to 10, 11, 12, and then we're going to go down to, 8 on the B string. Make sure and end strong. Okay, so we got 3, really 4, to include the original open position. That already sounds pretty cool. Let's go up to the 12th fret though. So we're going to start on 12 on the A string. We're going to go 12, 15, and then switch to D. 12, 13, 14, to 10 on A. Find the octave. So we're going to start, this one gets a little weird. The relationships between the G string and the B string are different than the other strings. So anyway, we're going to start with our middle finger on 14 of G. We're going to go to 13 of B. We're going to do that position shift. It's going to go 15, 16, 17, down to 12 on G. So start with your middle. Cool. And then finally, if you just kind of do everything plus 12, you end up here on the 17th fret of the low E. An octave higher from the first voicing of this riff that we experimented with. That's a little too high up for comfort for me. I don't find that particularly useful. But maybe I'll just leave that open for you to explore. Anyway, I tried to keep this riff consistent fingering-wise, as consistent as I could. There's obviously like multiple fingerings. You could play more than. There's always more than one way to play the same thing. I hope this lesson has showed you that on guitar. So I invite you to explore even more possibilities than the ones that I showed you in this lesson. But the primary thing that I wanted you to gain from learning Heartbreaker in all these different positions was more about location. Open position, 5th position, moving up to 10th, 12th, and then we have 17th. was more about playing things in different locations than it was about trying new fingerings for things. So hopefully this opens up the possibilities for improvising with the A minor blues scale, adds to your vocabulary a little bit, but also just hopefully it just gets you a little bit more comfortable with playing the blues scale, rocking out. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I'm going to play a sweet lick that I'm just going to make up right now, and that'll be it. So, see you in the next video.